Oh, it's me. It's DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
This is Rachel Ellering, the Queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right? When the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davey Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as a dog without braids.
And you
Are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam. That's a good thing. Bang!
Okay, guys, welcome to a WrestleSlam special. Yes, not an episode, not a feature, a special. I was sitting home today playing with the kiddies, and I somehow seen a message. Look on Twitter now, and all hell has broke loose in regards to WWE. We are seeing, and this is not a drill, guys. This is not a drill. Braun Strowman has been released, which is an absolute shock. Aleister Black has been released. Lana has been released. Murphy, Ruby Riot, Santana Garrett. Now, rumours to be, and as we speak right now, there could be more releases. Now, I'm not going to mention names because it's not fair on the talents for me to do so. But, first of all, Ger, absolutely crazy motherfucking news that Braun Strowman has been released. Aleister Black, the guy that's brought back, kind of repackaged, good storylines, gone. Lana, obviously, look, you know what I mean? There might be a link there with Mero going back to AEW. I'm not sure what the situation is, but all hell has broke motherfucking loose. Joe, what's your take first of all? And it's fair to say you're probably shocked that Braun is gone.
I'm shocked that all of them are gone, really. I chose this red t-shirt today to come on because it'll hide the redness on my face because I'm fucking fuming.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Like, I don't know what's going on with WWE at the moment. Like, I know a lot. There's been releases. They do it every year, but they didn't do last year. They didn't have another one a month later or 2 months later after they had the big Black Wednesday or Black Friday, whatever it ended up being. And I don't know what they say. Of all the people, like Braun Strowman and Aleister Black were probably the two biggest shocks. Yeah. When they reported last night that there was going to be possibly big news today in WWE saying there may be more releases. Like, I was thinking, people who aren't being used at all, like, people are sitting in catering, like. But Braun Strowman was just in the World Title match 2 weeks ago, and Aleister Black closed SmackDown 2 weeks ago, taking out Big E, setting up a big feud. And they invested so much time in bringing him back, and he was gone for so long. Like, and we're like, when's he going to come back? And he finally came back, and it was like, yes, he's like a potential, main event challenger for Roman Reigns down the line if they book him properly. Like, and I was on WWE Shop today. I sent on the RK Bro stuff in the group chat, and I was like, oh, this looks sweet. And I was looking through it, and I saw Aleister Black new T-shirt, the Dark Father picture on a T-shirt on pre-order. Like, that was just released for pre-order. So I don't know who's talking to who backstage, but that was definitely a last-minute decision. I don't know who the fuck came up with that.
Yeah. It's 100% fair to say that Braun and Aleister have not been asked to be released. There's no way like that. Way. Yeah, like Braun to me was always going to be a WWE guy. Saying that, he might go back in a couple of years. He might go back next year. Rumor has it he's on $1 million a year, which is fair enough. He's a big status name, had a really good feud with Fury. Obviously, we've seen him win belts. But, like, Elizabeth, first of all, we know Lana has kind of been in the roster for a while. We know, obviously, look, there's more rumours coming out now that there might be more to come. It's an absolute shock, isn't it, to see Aleister Black being pretty much repackaged. It looked like the Aleister Black that we all wanted, the guy that we're all fucking saying, right, look, this is what we wanted for years. This is the Aleister Black of NXT. It could actually be a better Aleister Black on you know what I mean? What's gone wrong? Obviously, there's serious budget costs. There must be something seriously wrong within the company at this moment in time.
For sure. I mean, there's obviously rumours are rife now that it could be going up for sale, so trying to make it more attractive and lucrative with lower your biggest cost is your staff, so to make it more lucrative to a buyer. But as Ger said, I think Aleister Black that was a last minute decision, and I think it's one that they will regret. Even though he was blindsided by it, what we were seeing now with the Dark Father was probably the best Aleister Black we've seen since NXT. for sure. I was on his Twitch stream, and I'm glad he came out and done something. It said something so soon afterwards, because I had said to Ger, my biggest concern was that they had re-signed Zelina Vega and released him to teach her a lesson for what was after happening with the third-party interactions, and I felt sick to my stomach. So I'm glad that's not the case, and then they came out and spoke out about it. And the reason we're getting the best version of Aleister Black since he came to the main roster is because, as he said himself, he is was writing all of the Dark Father promos, all of them. It's all his work. When he was doing the knock on the door and he was inside what looked like someone's broom closet or whatever like that, that was WWE. They wrote all of his promos, and Bruce Pritchard was fighting behind the scenes to get him out of that cupboard. When Paul Heyman was in charge in SmackDown, he fought tooth and nail for Aleister Black, for him creatively, and to get him a push. He said he mentioned that Paul Heyman was his go-to guy. He really did push for him. And when he came up from NXT first, neither him nor WWE and creative knew what they wanted him to be on the main roster. They didn't know what, coming from NXT to go up to the main roster, they did not know who Aleister Black was, and it took them ages, absolutely ages. He said that he was trying his own creative things. Everything was being wrote for him. He was trying to branch away from it. One match he had with Money in the Bank before AJ Styles, he actually went off script for that and used his own promo and got praised for it, but then it was back into your creative promos again. So they liked having the control on him. They like the whole idea of his character, but they still needed to have that tight grip on him, which is such a shame, because he was amazing. He said the last 2 years have been a slow death for him. Yeah. And obviously, because we've all seen, and it actually done a massive number on his own self-esteem as well. So it just goes to show that not only the fans were feeling it, he was feeling it too. And more than anything, on his stream, he seems relieved.
What did he actually say? Because I missed that part. So he obviously, is it like a live stream where he's actually on camera, or just typing? It's on camera, is it?
Yep. He's on Pia Trinidad's live stream. Yeah. So he just literally came on Instagram and said, I'm going to go on to Twitch, and he gave the link to it, and he just said he's just going to talk about what's after happening, and he'll happily answer any questions and stuff, and just how he's feeling and what he's going through. Very, very upbeat, very positive. As he said, first thing he said is, I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, I'm okay. They were the first things he said, which was great to hear, because he seems like such a really nice, genuine guy. Yeah. And he was just saying he had a lot of love for WWE, and obviously a lot of things were going on, but he has a lot of love for them. They brought him to where he is now, and the Dark Father was going to be his push. That was his big push, and he said, and now there's this. He said, I never had that big push, and now this was his big push, and it's gone. And he was obviously blindsided by it as well. So that's really, really sad. I don't know, I just find that really, really sad. And he tried so many times to reinvent his character. He was saying he kept leaving Easter eggs in his backstage promos, like, I'm a caged animal. He was referring to Eric Rowan's cage. So he would be what was in the cage, like some kind of third being, so he was leaving them everywhere, trying everything he could.
It's mad. I'm shocked. Phil, we seen Aleister Black's debut on Raw.
Yeah.
We were there when he left NXT. We seen his last match on NXT as well, and the ovation that he got with a Ricochet was unbelievable. It's a mad world, obviously, to cutthroat business. Do you really think that Vince and the main, obviously Vince is the main guy, but do you think that they can really be thinking about selling the company?
I wouldn't have said it years ago, but yeah, there's a possibility.
But what does Vince get from that? Because look, Vince has been there. He bought the business from his father. Obviously, built it up, right? Money is to no equation to Vince McMahon. He's got so much money that he does not need to sell it.
But you know what it is? It's power. When he dies and he knows nobody else has it, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? And they'll have to rebrand and they'll have to do it all again. You know what I mean?
Vince McMahon will live until he's 100 and odd. There's no doubt about that. He's that kind of a man. But I just if he was to sell a company in the morning, what would Vince do? Because look, he doesn't need the money. Yeah, he's relaunching
XFL.
XFL, yeah. Doesn't need the money. Does not need the money. Do you know what I mean? It gets him up every morning. Like Vince probably gets up at 5, 6 in the morning, trains, and has the same routine. But I just don't think selling the company is going to achieve anything for them because they don't need the money. Look, they're all worth a couple of quid. Like even Stephanie Triple H, probably worth 30, 40 million. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Probably 80 million between the two of them. But I just don't see what's going on. Look, I understand that we're in a pandemic. I understand that, look, the last 14, 15 months, there's been no fans. You have, restricted access to shows. Obviously, everything's down now. They still have all the TV rights, still making money. Clearly, there's been something gone on. But, like, Braun fucking Strowman, Aleister Black. Like, Aleister Black's a big name, but Braun, for me, is obviously that bit bigger, given the fact, look, he's had that bigger push and stuff. Yeah. It is just outrageous to think that what could be around the corner now. Even as we speak, there could be some stuff happening. It's mad. It's shocking.
I'm actually shocked that there wasn't more names on it.
Yeah, well, that could be letter one, phase one, you know.
But also, yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, but Nick Cannon promoted 2 people to big contracts.
Who was that? That was
he's the new kind of president of WWE at the moment.
Oh no, sorry. Who was the 2 contracts? Did he mention it? Sorry.
No, their names are there, but I can't remember their names. But they're basically promoted up to a higher level, and they're going to be on huge money. So I'm assuming that they were like looking at the thing and going, this person can go. You know what I mean? They actually would do it like that, I reckon, because they're that ruthless. They're just ruthless. Like
he is. Nick Cannon is ruthless. He's only been there since what? He's not even there a year, is he?
Yeah, 6 months.
He's coming in to clean the place out and get ready for.
He negotiated that deal for the zombies for like over $1 million.
Yeah.
And then they're letting people go then as well on top of this, like after doing that nonsense.
Well, it is mad. You look at it this way, right? You pay the whole zombie saga $1 million for one appearance, right? Yet you have a guy that's really good on the roster that's on $1 million a year salary.
Yeah.
Would you rather get the long term and someone on a roster for 12 months, or just pay out $1 million and fucking have zombies? It's there's something seriously wrong in that company. I think.
Then you have Ruby Riot, who's probably only on $200,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, look.
Same with Lana.
Yeah. We all agree, though. Ruby Riot's going to shine. She is fucking unbelievable. Lana, do you know what? I actually like Lana. She's worked hard. She's grinded her teeth. And look, there's names being mentioned. There's all these motherfucking dopes on Twitter. Fucking this and that's going to be released, blah, blah, blah. Like, even one of the guys that announced it, he's a motherfucker, but look, he was right. He was right? So I'm not going to say that. But he was actually right, so he had his info right. But it's like, Matt, what you make of all this? I thought you were all taking a piss. Literally, when I seen it, I was like, right, that's definitely a piss take. And then I looked on WWE.com, and as you scroll down the page, lo and behold, there it was. I was like, whoa.
Christ, Jerry, I wish that they were just taking a piss take at this point, because I'm kind of the same. I honestly don't know what the fuck is going on backstage at WWE at the moment. I remember a while back when we had the releases, it was upsetting to see, but we thought, look, maybe it's a good business decision, maybe they're making the right call, but like you said, Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Ruby Riot, they were just being used, I feel like. They're just being fucked off at the moment. Like, I feel like nobody's safe at the moment. I'm not trying to back up any of these dopes on Twitter saying, so-and-so is being released. But it's just, if I see a particular wrestler on WWE being released for no reason, I'll not be surprised at this point. Like, let's just say, for example, Drew McIntyre. It would be shocker, but part of us would think, no surprise. He was on top, and now he's being released again. Not saying that will happen, but at this point, I'm just simply done with WWE. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in Vince's ear, what's in John Laurinaitis' ear. But even if Vince would sell the company, I think that Vince, I'm not going to say he should or shouldn't, but I feel like Vince needs to do something better to make us more invest with WWE these days, especially with these mad releases. I'm still thinking Braun Strowman, he was just in the world title picture. Even if he wasn't going to be used, he would still come back some way. Same with Aleister Black, because I actually looked through his Twitch stream, and I really like his character, really like where he was going with, and how they just like affect him off like it was nothing. It's just bizarre. Lana, I'm not really worried for. I could see her going to AEW with Nero as like a similar manager role to WWE, except more themselves. But Ruby Riot, I thought they were going to use her because they were on a losing streak with Liz Morgan, and maybe they'll build them up, but clearly that's not going to happen. So I could see her moving on to better things, but that's just my opinion. I just feel like I'm just done with WWE. I don't even want to know what's backstage at the moment, like, so.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to name drop, because look, there's names on my head right now. I'm like, right. Do you know what I mean? Even with the female roster, there's names on my head. I'm like, right, fucking hell, maybe they're in trouble. But I'd say we're going to wake up in the morning and it could be 7 or 8 more names, and you're going to have 2 or 3 big names. They're all big names, but 2 or 3 major names. Like, fuck. Like, in my head right now, I'm thinking, right, they're going to bring back John Cena. That's going to cost a couple of mil, right?
Yeah.
They had Bad Bunny. Apparently, Bad Bunny got 2.1 million for his duration in WrestleMania, and prior to that, 2.1 million. Now, in my opinion, right, 2.1 million for Bad Bunny, right? Braun Strowman, Lana, Ruby Riot, and say Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black were probably all on the 2 million mark between them. So Strowman was probably on $1 million. I'd probably say, you know, Aleister Black, you know, Buddy Murphy, they were probably on around 250 grand a year. Then Lana and Ruby Riot were probably on the same. So they give Bad Bunny 2.1 million for a couple of weeks' work. And yet again, you have 5-6 superstars that are on a combined total of 2 million between them all, and they get released. So,
and also as well, just putting in there, they've made record profits across the board.
Record profit. It looks to me that because the ratings are absolutely bollocks, they're looking to make big moves. So we're going to release superstars. We're going to do these things where we're going to bring a superstar back like John Cena or someone like that, pay them out of the fucking skyrocket money, and that's that. So no one knows what's happening. It is absolutely madness.
Putting a plaster on a broken leg, like.
Yeah, they're putting a nice shiny bow on it and trying to make the company. Everything kind of points to that, it could be going for a sale. So they're trying to make the company appear as financially viable as it possibly can be to the likes of NBC or whoever would like to purchase it. And as Jerry said, they're just putting a big shiny bow or a plaster on the absolute cracks that are showing through it. Because when all the boys have made their money, they'll jump ship. You know, because the likes of anyone, a big networking company or any party that's interested in it, they will want to say, and they will bring in their team, and they will have to work alongside the WWE team. And we all know how Vince doesn't like to share the workload. He doesn't like to compromise or work with others. So I think they are. I think they're trying to get the company in as best a financially viable position as possible to appeal it to investors.
How does the WWE contracts work? Like, are they paid off straight away there now? Is all their money, like, because in football, the lads are paid straight up when they're fired, like.
See, Braun's contract's probably up in a couple of days or a couple of weeks or maybe, but he has to get everything, like, you can't just cut
they get their salary for the 3 months. For the 90 days, they get a monthly salary, so they get paid every month for whatever they're owed.
Yeah.
Any merchandise or anything like that sells out between now and the 90 days, they get their profit of that or whatever they're due.
What's it worth, Joe, do you reckon? So if Fox or NBC or someone in America were going to take over and buy WWE, right? How much is it worth?
He'll want 5, I think.
5 billion.
Easily.
Yeah,
easily.
I think he'll want 5. Yeah.
Easily. I think there was talks. I don't know who's saying it, but there's talks of maybe 8 or 9 billion from Amazon, or maybe 5 or 6 million from Disney Plus or something like that. They're saying that the way George Lucas is now, with the way the Star Wars franchise is owned by Disney, like that he Vince McMahon's name will be like George Lucas. It's created, and all characters are created or whatever, like by Vince McMahon, but Disney
like a silent partner
own the fucking rights to it, like, so Vince's name will still show up, but it'll be owned by whoever runs it.
I don't know. I like this Vince McMahon documentary. It's going on behind the scenes. Is it all a work? Has Vince known about this for a long time and said, right, look, the documentary comes out, next thing, WWE is bought. Now, Vince might keep his role within the company, as in fucking, he might be, obviously he doesn't want it, but he's paid on salary to fucking be, I don't know, some creative.
That's corporate. That's corporate America, though. You can have your name on the company, but you have no say in it because there's a board of directors that run everything, and they can vote you out if they wanted to.
Yeah, maybe all right. I think what Phil said might be on point as well. Look, it's a power thing, and he just wants the.
Oh yeah, like he knows, like he doesn't want anyone else to run it because he's run it. So he even threw his own dad out of the business.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Nick Khan, right, as Phil was saying, right, in two of the bios, right, Nick Khan is there, like, short term, and he is now on the board of directors.
Yeah, he's the president of the year, I think. He's actually
he's on that board now, along with two of the bios who were promoted yesterday, right? Yeah. Nick Khan is bringing all of these big multi-million-dollar deals. He's now crept his way up to the board of directors in less than a year of been with the company, and a year in that position, and I'm not sure if they're going to, if they go and try and sell it, that they're going to try and placate Vince, that it's going to be like, oh, you'll still have input and things like that, and that they will, in a way, manage him out. Do you know what I mean? Because right. WWE is one thing, but if you're going up against Amazon or Disney, that's a whole other kettle of fucking fish. WWE is a small fish in a very big pond when you're talking Amazon and Disney.
You're right. Lads, absolute shock. We're all shocked. We said we're going to keep it nice and short. Look, there's talks that there's rumours more stars are going to be named. Now, to all the gobshites and dipsticks on Twitter naming fucking wrestlers, you know what I mean? They shouldn't really do that, you know, unless they know exactly what they're on about. We're seeing names being mentioned. It's not fair. I'm sure the wrestlers do come across that, so obviously it does annoy them. But look, it's a crazy day in the world of, you know, in the community of wrestling and the wrestling universe. Absolutely shocked. Braun Strowman, you know, Ruby Riot, fucking Aleister Black. It's you know, Buddy Murphy. I always call him Buddy Murphy. Sorry, Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah. Either way, look, these are all going to have big careers moving forward. Just hopefully they're picked up. You know, people are saying All Elite Wrestling are winning that battle. And look, you know, I just don't know where I see Braun going from here.
You know, he put out a statement put out a statement a few years ago. He mocked all the indie wrestlers. Yeah. And he said he'd never wrestle anywhere but WWE. Never.
Yeah, I always thought Braun as a WWE guy, and especially with that statement, I agree with Jerry. I don't know where he's going to go from here. Maybe he's going to be a Twitcher. You never know, but
but a lot of those indie guys hold grudges. They won't take it. Like.
Yeah. What about Ryback?
He's going bodybuilding, like Liz said. There's talk of he wants to be a professional bodybuilder, so this will give him freedom to just train them.
Well, yeah,
he definitely won't do it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good path for him. Given
Ryback is trolling. Ryback is only trolling.
You reckon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting, lads. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. It's we're all going to be observing Twitter tonight. Yet again, guys, look, don't forget as well that we have a load of videos up on YouTube. So do check them out. DDP, the quiz with Liz, awesome. We have Mike Bailey, Speedball, that's up on YouTube as well. There is the video we did with Enzo a while back. That is also on YouTube. I'm just going to double check because there's been so many stuff we've done. Also, guys, don't forget to check out the special preview, AEW Double or Nothing. That's the latest video put up 7 hours ago. My last episode, WrestleSlam, May 30th. That is up as well. Our interview with Mero from AEW TNT. Will Lana join him? It remains to be seen. Check out our interview with Eric Bischoff. That is awesome. Georgia Smith as well, and much more. Guys, thank you for your time. It was late notice, but we do thank you for coming on. Liz, the hair rocks. Ger, I'm loving the t-shirt. Matt, loving the background. Phil, loving everything and the hair. You've kept that hair for a while, so respect, my friend. Guys, I'll catch you soon, all right?
Yes, it is. Bye, guys.